Tonight on Cronkite News, the city of Phoenix has just 3 more days to clear the zone. We'll have new updates ahead of this weekend's deadline.
Plus, this D-backs World Series roster is filled with Latino stars. The impact this is having on Arizona's Latino community.
And how D-backs fans feel about the team's desperate need for a win tonight to force Games 6 and 7 in Rangers territory. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Aaron Gonzalez.
And I'm Alex DaCosta. Earlier today, the Phoenix Office of Homeless Solutions held a press briefing to explain city's efforts to clear the encampment known as the Zone.
But some of the efforts are leaving some members of the homeless community frustrated and uncertain of what to do next.
Cronkite News reporter Tabitha Bland was there this morning and joins us now. Tabitha, what'd you see out there?
This morning, there were still lots of tents and belongings, but the city of Phoenix projects that they will meet the deadline that is only 3 days away. After months of effort, the zone has been reduced to just 1 block that is being cleared today. They estimate that there are only about 70 people to relocate.
My friend's back here, and I'm concerned for him because I don't know where they're going to go or what's going to happen with them.
Deborah Kastner is adapting to life after being relocated during an earlier cleanup of the zone.
But I am in the same boat as they are, just not here.
The homeless encampment, once stretching 15 blocks, is now reduced to only 1. The city is tackling that final block today.
We have enough resources to offer everybody today, and that first step of getting them off the street. And then right then it'll be up to us to help maintain and engage people as people try to re-inhabit. But most people have been adhering to the signs up that we can't camp in this area anymore.
All tents, structures, and trash must be removed by the court-imposed deadline in 3 days. Time is ticking.
This is the last block we have. It's always a guesstimate because there's a lot of inflow of people, but we were working with roughly 70 people this morning.
Regulating the cleanup is difficult, which is why city workers have gathered a list of names of those who have been living in this area. But people being relocated are frustrated by this tactic.
I need to get my stuff.
The only thing that's separating where I'm standing now and all of the property on the other side of this tape is a list. If your name is not on the list, you cannot enter.
I want to assist my friend in moving, but I got stopped at the gate.
Compliance is crucial to finish the cleanup and maintain the work that is being done. As of now, the city is working with nonprofit partners and will tackle future encampments as they pop up.
The work of ending homelessness isn't even close to being done, but our goal is to meet each individual where they're at and try to get them onto that next step in their life.
The city of Phoenix projects that the cleanup will be completed by the November 4th deadline. According to Scott Hall, a safe outdoor space is now open and people can be placed there as needed. Next week, the X-Wing shipping container homes will be completed and they can serve as another option for placements. In the newsroom, Tabitha Bland, Cronkite News.
Thanks, Tabitha. Now switching to sports, the Diamondbacks are playing a crucial Game 5 of the World Series at Chase Field right now. And although they lost their last 2 games at home, however, one piece of the team has remained consistent. Second baseman Ketel Marte is looking to keep his postseason hit streak alive. During Game 2 of the Fall Classic, he made history with 18 consecutive postseason games with a hit. And during Game 4, he extended that to 20. The first 4 games of Marte's streak came in 2017, his first season in Snakes uniform, and the 30-year-old hasn't looked back since.
This game will be the last World Series game played in Phoenix this season. And the Fall Classic in Phoenix has certainly been historic and left a mark. We have team coverage tonight. Beatrice Martinez will join us with how additional foot traffic has helped local businesses. But let's turn to our Roxanne De La Rosa, who is out near Chase Field, where this year's D-backs team is helping Latino fans connect to their community.
Tonight is the big game, and fans are coming from everywhere to see the World Series. Latinos are a big part of that celebration.
Baseball fever is here, especially for Latino fans.
It brings an energy to the game, a different type of energy that it's hard to explain, you just have to feel it.
Es una locura buena.
D-backs Spanish broadcaster Oscar Soria knows all about that energy.
The most valuable players in an event can be Latino, and there is a need in major leagues to put translators to make it easier.
Soria has worked for the team since 1999 and is an expert in sports Spanish language media.
When they won in 2001, there was a Latino presence. Daniel Batista, an important Dominican outfielder, was involved in the big moments. Miguel Batista, a Dominican pitcher, an important figure of that Arizona team. Durazo, a Mexican player who hit a home run in the championship series, helped to get the team to the World Series.
The Arizona Diamondbacks have 10 Latino players on their team, and one of them is their biggest star.
There's Ketel Marte, who is Dominican and who has just been the most valuable player of the National League Championship Series.
Buriel is proud of being a fan and even tattooed the team's logo on his arm.
Yeah, and I think it brings people together. It ties everybody up. You learn new roots.
You can feel the energy and the excitement in the air. Arizona baseball fans are here and they are excited tonight. Roxanne de la Rosa, Cronkite News.
Thanks, Roxanne. No matter what happens tonight, Arizona will still have played in at least 5 World Series games.
This for the first time since 2001. Phoenix has changed quite a bit since the last time they took part in the Fall Classic. In 2001, the ASU downtown campus where we broadcast this show did not exist. Neither did the light rail that covers the east to west valley. That opened in 2008. Even Chase Field was not Chase Field. The stadium was called Bank One Ballpark, known as the Bob. And as R.J. Price from the organization Downtown Phoenix Incorporated explains, things have really taken off since then.
The layperson probably points to the skyline being the biggest change since 2001, and that's not incorrect, as we have grown considerably and had a lot of great developments come online, especially in the residential side. But I always point to the sidewalks. The sidewalks are the best barometer for the health of the downtown. And our sidewalks have never been more energized and more vibrant and more full of life than they are today.
But one thing remains constant. People want to celebrate, and one spot in downtown Phoenix has helped fans do just that. Beatriz Martinez joins us now from that area with more on one of the most popular spots for sports fans to hang out. Beatriz, what do you have?
New places down here, but Marley's Sports Grill has been here since that 2001 World Series and is still a hot spot for fans. Workers at Marley's, like Nika Lewis, says they have seen an increase in foot traffic in the last couple of years.
The biggest change is all the different people we get to see from all over. I mean, not only do we have the World Series, we've had the convention, we've had the Super Bowl now. Arizona has really been on the map. I live downtown, I scooter to work, I drive to work. I do everything, and it's really fun to see all these people coming in and bringing so much community to downtown Phoenix.
Valley native and longtime Marley's fan Lois Arrico celebrated her 90th birthday at Marley's with her family and has high hopes for the Diamondbacks.
We're all very happy for her, so we're taking her out to celebrate.
Yeah, taking me to the World Series for my birthday present. We hope that the Diamondbacks are going to come through, but we're very proud of them anyway because, they've come a long way and beat 2 really other good teams to get here. So no matter what, we'll be proud of them.
A lot of fans came out in their Halloween costumes. From kids to grown-ups, and even Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift made an appearance.
Yeah, obviously it's a hot topic. I mean, I know a lot of people are doing it, but we want to be the best at it. So I'm hoping like ESPN does a top 10 costume contest. I want to be on it. We want to be on it. And then I think we got it. I think we're the best Taylor Swift Kelce combo tonight.
And for fans like 10-year-old Wyatt, he's waited a lifetime for this experience.
It means very much to me because this is my first World Series game.
Poor Wyatt had to wait 10 years for his team to make it to the World Series, and this certainly wasn't the best Halloween for Arizona. The Diamondbacks down 3-1 in the World Series, and the Phoenix Suns lost to the San Antonio Spurs by 1 point. But you know what? One thing's for sure is the Diamondbacks have most certainly made Arizona proud, no matter the outcome. In Phoenix, Beatriz Martinez, Cronkite News.
The city of Arlington and city of Phoenix are also engaging in a battle off the field to see which city can raise the most money for a good cause. The competition is called Strikeout Hunger. Food banks from each city are accepting donations. The Phoenix representative St. Mary's Food Bank has raised $19,000. The competition runs until November 4th.
And when we come back tonight, the announcement made by the Fed that affects the future of interest rates. Plus, we take a look at the cooling temperatures. Our Sydney Whitty will join us when Cronkite News returns.
We tell ourselves stories as a nation.
These stories need to be highlighted. They need to be explored. We're the dreamers.
How serious is America's commitment to looking at its history? How can we learn from the past?
Douglas said, "You're going to look me in the eye and see my humanity."
It's illuminating. I'm seeing the expansiveness of my history.
It's pretty great.
There's so much richness to Black life and Black culture.
I think the story of Muslims in America is the story of America.
Tonight, they are free.
I cannot imagine how excited he must have been.
It's a wonderful feeling. This is why we do this.
It makes me even more committed to struggling for a better world.
Here at the TV Production and Graphics Lab, we are behind the scenes making the news happen. Gain experience in the control room directing, teledirecting, and rolling the audio of every Cronkite News show. Run the floor and work in a professional environment, honing your skills for the future. Create graphics that will be seen by the local community on Arizona PBS. Be a part of the bloodline that makes the Cronkite News shows possible.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue,
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Welcome back. The Federal Reserve has announced they will not increase the federal interest rate.
This follows day 2 of the Fed's monetary policy meeting. This is the second consecutive meeting the group chose to keep the rates the same. The federal funds rate is the rate at which banks borrow from each other. Analysts say this is because of a strong third quarter. Last week, data showed the U.S. GDP grew close to 5% over 3 months. Consumer spending is also up, but the rate is still at its highest level in 22 years.
Meantime, Democratic senators are asking the Federal Trade Commission to investigate 2 separate mergers that ExxonMobil and Chevron are doing. Chevron bought the oil company Hess last month, and ExxonMobil has proposed to buy Pioneer Natural Resources, which is also involved in the oil industry. The Democratic senators say the 2 big oil companies are getting rid of their, quote, midstream competitors. They warn if the FTC does not step in, consumers could suffer. The FTC has not commented on the request.
The American Cancer Society has updated lung screening guidelines for people over 50. The new recommendation encourages an additional 5 million people to get screened for lung cancer. Adults ages 50 to 80 with a 20-pack year smoking history are recommended to get screened yearly. A pack year is equated to 1 pack per day for a year. These new screenings updates are estimated to prevent 20% more lung cancer deaths. Now, Aaron, I'm not sure about you, but it was a little bit chilly for me this morning.
Yeah, Alex, those low temperatures are getting cold, but the afternoons are just perfect. Sydney Whitty joins us now, and Sydney, is it going to get colder as we head into November?
They sure are. Those cool temperatures you felt this morning and throughout the day aren't going anywhere. As a matter of fact, this morning I grabbed a jacket on the way out the door. Right now we're sitting at 75 degrees with a light breeze at 6 miles per hour, and that will continue throughout the evening until 10 p.m. when we hit 70 degrees with a light breeze at 4 miles per hour. And since today is November 1st, let's take a look at this month's average weather. The high temperature for this time of year is 76, the low temperature 54, and rainfall is just over ½ an inch in November. And looking at our low temperatures for tomorrow, 56 here in the Valley, 50s all along the Colorado River, 52 in Bullhead City, 54 down in Yuma. But do take note that half of the state is looking at some freezing temperatures. 27 up in Flagstaff, 21 at the Grand Canyon, 34 over in Show Low as well. In our high temperatures here in the Valley tomorrow, a beautiful 86 degrees, 84 in Lake Havasu, 84 down in Tucson. In the southeast region of the state, we'll be seeing a gorgeous 75 degrees. And Page will see 67 and the Grand Canyon also at 67. And taking a look at our 8-day forecast, for the rest of the week, we'll be at about 85, 86. And throughout the next week, we'll be in the beautiful 80s. This is amazing fall weather. Saturday and Thursday, we'll see some light clouds. We're about average for this time of year, and I can't wait for it to be fall. I'm Sydney Whitty at the Cronkite Weather Center. Back to you.
Stick around because after the break, we're diving back into our top sports stories.
Our Ryan Bunnell joins us in the newsroom for our sports report. How's it going, Ryan?
Well, Alex and Aaron, if you're a Valley sports fan, you are probably not the happiest camper right now, but we'll have more on that. Coming up, Texas teams came into town and ruined Halloween at Chase Field and the Footprint Center.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
the bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communications Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
Did you know newsrooms today are looking for bilingual journalists? Cronkite Noticias prepares you to cover diverse communities. In Cronkite Noticias, you will obtain an unforgettable experience.
Nopales como este van a tumbar.
Cronkite Noticias.
And develop your skills with the latest technology.
As you're dissecting it and looking at it, you fall down 11-1, and then you keep fighting. You stay connected. You commit to the plan and the process for 27 outs, and you close the game up to 11-7. Got the fans engaged, got a ton of energy, got their closer in the game. There was a lot of positives to draw upon, and I will.
Good evening and welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ryan Bunnell. That was D-backs manager Torey Lovullo trying to keep his team mentally dialed in after a gut punch last night in Game 4. The D-backs and Rangers are currently playing Game 5 at Chase Field, which is an elimination game for the D-backs if they can't pull out the win. History is not on the Snakes' side, though, as only 6 times out of 47 has a team come back to win the World Series after going down 3-1. The last time it happened was in 2016 when the Chicago Cubs beat the Cleveland Indians, who are now known as the Guardians. The D-backs are hoping to become the 7th team to pull off the improbable comeback. Once again, Game 5 is underway at Chase Field. This is the Snakes' opportunity to keep their Fall Classic hopes alive. And if they do, Game 6 and 7 will be in Arlington. If not, the Rangers will win their first World Series title in franchise history. Not all hope is lost, though, as the Diamondbacks have a history of coming back in the postseason, especially in their 2001 title run. Tony Womack was on that World Series championship team and joined us via Zoom to talk about handling the pressure of the moment, how his team was able to pull out a victory when everyone counted them out, and how he feels about jumping in the Chase Field pool. Hint, he is not a big fan.
You get in trouble by changing when you get in the playoffs. Yeah, it's win or go home, but you can't put any added pressure on yourself. You start pressing now you're doing stuff you haven't done all year. They said that we had no chance against the Yankees, and I always said good pitching to take care of good hitting, and we had good pitching and we had timely hitting. Gracie started out with a double, and then we get a sacrifice bunt. He throws it away. I mean, a lot of things played in that factor. And we brought it back home. We took care of Game 6, and the rest is history in Game 7. When you're celebrating, who knows what you try to do? Who knows who's going to jump in the pool, hit the edge, mess up a finger, Like I said, the game has changed. We didn't do it. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I mean, to each their own. I'm not against it. I'm not for it either. So to each their own. I don't. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. If that's the way they celebrate, then that's fine. We chose to celebrate in the clubhouse with each other and the families. They chose to celebrate in the pool. No, there's no difference. We just celebrated differently.
It was a nightmare on Jefferson Street last night. Aside from the D-backs loss, the Phoenix Suns got more tricks than treats with the San Antonio Spurs in town. The Suns were highly favored to win this one. Kevin Durant gave Victor Wembanyama a warm welcome to the league with this fadeaway baseline jumper. Durant finished with 26 on the night, and Eric Gordon continued to make an impact as a starter with 20 points. But things got spooky during clutch time. Keldon Johnson stripped the ball from KD and makes the layup to give the Spurs their only lead and first road win. Suns lose this one 115 to 114.
Catching the first pitch is fellow Sun Devil, Mayor Kelly. Fans, let's hear it again for John Rahm.
PGA golf star, former Sun Devil, and Masters champion John Rahm threw out the first pitch for Game 4 of the World Series. As Rahm takes a break from the links, the PGA Tour champions gear up for the Charles Schwab Cup Championship, which will be held next week at Phoenix Country Club. The event is a 4-day, 72-hole play featuring the top 36 Charles Schwab Cup points leaders, competing for a chance at a title. The championship is scheduled for November 9th to the 12th, and PCC is no stranger when it comes to hosting events at this level. It was the home of the Phoenix Open from 1932 to 1986, and the tradition continues as the host for the Charles Schwab Cup Championship since 2017.
And so to host this event is really historical for Phoenix Country Club, and the members love it. It just puts this country club on a radar that it might not have been on before.
After the Las Vegas Raiders fired head coach Josh McDaniels, they tagged linebackers coach Antonio Pierce to take over. Pierce is a familiar name to those in the Valley, as he spent 5 seasons at ASU, ending his tenure as defensive coordinator under Herm Edwards after alleged recruiting violations surfaced. Pierce is also a 2008 Super Bowl champion and played 9 seasons in the NFL. That's it for your Cronkite Sports Report. In the newsroom, I'm Ryan Bunnell. Aaron and Alex, back to you.
Thank you, Ryan. And Halloween may be over, but today is Dia de los Muertos.
A look at the holiday is coming up next.
We tell ourselves stories as a nation.
These stories need to be highlighted. They need to be explored.
We're the dreamers.
How serious is America's commitment to looking at its history? How can we learn from the past?
Douglas said, "You're going to look me in the eye and see my humanity."
It's illuminating. I'm seeing the expansiveness of my history.
It's pretty great.
There's so much richness to Black life and Black culture.
I think the story of Muslims in America is the story of America.
Tonight, they are free.
I cannot imagine how excited he must have been.
It's a wonderful feeling. This is why we do this.
It makes me even more committed to struggling for a better world.
Here at the TV Production and Graphics Lab, we are behind the scenes making the news happen. Gain experience in the control room directing, teledirecting, and rolling the audio of every Cronkite News show. Run the floor and work in a professional environment, honing your skills for the future. Create graphics that will be seen by the local community on Arizona PBS. Be a part of the bloodline that makes the Cronkite News shows possible.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Find out what's on Arizona PBS at azpbs.org/schedule.
The trick-or-treating may be over, but the first 2 days of November bring much celebration.
Today is the first day of the Dia de los Muertos celebration. Originating in Mexico, the two-day holiday honoring late family members and loved ones has spread across Latin America and the United States. This first day of the holiday welcomes the spirits of children back to reunite with their families. Families create altars known as an ofrenda with the child's favorite foods, toys, and candy. Festivals and celebrations are being held into the weekend here in the Valley. And that's it for Cronkite News. Thank you for joining us. And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.